lone survivor. It seems someone, something, wanted me alive. I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to elves.
I'm even stranger than I look.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
I am. By the looks of that collar around your neck, you are too.
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy.
They may be wrong and crazy.
Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than outside.
Look, it's not safe out here. My ship was attacked by Voidwalk and not far from this shore.
But you didn't die.
I survived the Voidwalken attack by the skin of my teeth. You really should find somewhere safer to go.
There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
Why don't you seem scared?
Guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Okay. Can I open that?
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They've made it to shore.
Whoops. Wait, what I wanted to do? Fuck. SMRT.
I know.
Speak.
I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
Big ass shell.
Look here, Quercus. Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with them. What's that? Yes, I did see how it made short work of the great Acorn's servants. Quite right, very impressive. But that is no reason to trust it. Giants like that destroyed our forests. They are the very reason the great Acorn is returning in all its wrath. What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I... Oh, I see. You cunning devil, Quercus. Of course, if it defeated the great Acorn's vile servants, it can do so again. We need only follow in its big, wide shadow and be safe.
Giants? Acorns? Shields? What the bloody hell are you talking about?
Egad, it's speaks our tongue, Quercus. Hush before... What do you mean a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Salora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant. I shall do no such thing. You give away your trust too easily, my dear steed. No, we will have the giant march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves our confidence. Now, onwards! Shield! Venture forth, post-haste. The great acorn waits for no one.
Right. Okay.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep.
Let's see. He's the one that took me by the jaw and seized me up like a damn horse. Hey, I got a bone to pick with you.
The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
You know what? I was glad to help. Doesn't do to stand idly by when people are in danger.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further...
What are you doing here, standing on that rock?
I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
I'll see you later. Okay.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean?
The memories. Childhood days spent in the sun.
Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities, and shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost.
You'll see castles in the sky. Might as well see them in the sea.
Yes, but these weren't castles in the sky, were they? Quite obviously, I was musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am?
I've never heard of an abacus. I can tell who be. Oh, sorry. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of an abacus. I can tell who people are.
Well, more's the damn pity, isn't it? For I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
Quite the word.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have.
Why don't you travel with me? I might even be able to help you win your throne back.
Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all.
Burn my frickin' nose.
Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company.
I think we can take care of that.
Jolly good.
Before we go, you should probably know I'm, undead. Actually, I kind of like the one before it. Okay, let's rewind. So, hey, let me ask you. How do you feel about the living impaired?
The undead? Like your good self, you mean? Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you?
A fighter sounds perfect. Stay true to your vocation.
Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
House. Remember how to get up there.
A black cat. Hello, kitty.
It seems we're not the only ones taking on strays.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
What? How did I get... Hey, stop following me.
I wasn't following you. You approached me.
What? No, that can't be. I can't... Hey, stop following me.
Are you okay?
Huh? Yeah, fine. I'm fine. I'm not sure. It's all a little foggy.
Where did you come from?
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes lose focus, and with a jerk he turns away from you.
Ugh. Me.
What's this? I found something. I need
I don't have the shovel yet. Shovel's over here, isn't it? Up here. Oh, right there. It's still following me.
The cat's eyes are clouded.
For my black cat. Turn him here. There's the shovel. What? Over here. Armor, sweet. I leveled up at some point. Put it into. I think I'm gonna put it into single-handed. Better with that axe. Put it into persuasion. Here. Like strength, intelligence, and constitution are my major skills. So, well, not memory. Health is always good. And intelligence, I think. You. Cliff.
These beasts from God's know where, eh?
We already were the Magister. Now speak.
Bane is, if I remember correctly.
Wonder where this leads.
I don't want that.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected.
Anything valuable there?
Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Yeah, skull carved quite like that.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like me. Simply put, I am an eternal, and you are not. You have my sympathies. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather absent. At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers.
An Eternal? What is that, some sort of cult?
A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill, but I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared, but I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again.
Sounds like you need a companion. Like travel with me?
I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful.
Will work out well for both of us?
Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours?
Wizard serves us perfectly well.
I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see.
Sure.
Splendid. Very well.
I guess it's time to enter Fort Joy.
Need I repeat myself?
But I know nothing of any...
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Why even bother? A tongue can't be harder to grow back than a tail.
Stay silent, elf!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste.
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
Well, there's one Magister fewer for us to worry about.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weaker specimens suffer.
A single name throbs across your brain. Verdas, Verdas, Verdas. He must escape. He cannot die here. He cannot.
Okay.
Come on then, Lexi. Hey up.
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or brisket, toll's the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.